приехали в Украину, сразу дом. Если бы не вы, у нас в Украине СМИда не было. Если бы не вы, у нас бы в Украине СМИда не было. А что такое?
А що ви від мене хочете, скажіть? Що ви від мене хочете?
Идите нахуй свою, блядь.
Ти сам іде. Чуєш мене? Сам нахуй іде.
Гренландию и Шотландию, блядь. Я права? Я права?
Це Україна, ти мене розумієш, ти мене чуєш?
Какого вы хуя тут делаете?
Я говорю по-українськи, не по-русски, ти мене чуєш? Це не Росія, це Україна. Треба по-українськи говорити, не Росія.
Я бачу, що тебе впливу немає.
По-русски,
Ні, я в Україні. Треба українську мову говорити, не
я тебе
російську
сейчас
мову.
этой косички твоей ручки
Я вже...
Ну давай в Росію. Це Україна, це не Росія.
жизнь.
Так, той русська жінка. Де в Росії, якщо ти...
Потому что только русские так умеют матюкаться.
Пожалуйста, учите украинский язык, пожалуйста.
Давай їдемо.
Ребят,
Нет, самолет.
Нет,
У нас просто самолет.
Там на самоліті.
Ты снимай. Меня никто не снимает. Пожалуйста. Мала, я это не только за.
Yo, what up, niggas? My hairline is not that visible right now. Babyface just cut my hair. And now I want to get to the clip that you all just watched. Now that was a Russian lady being mean and racist to a bunch of Africans in Russia somewhere, calling them monkeys, threatening to rip their hair. You know, I don't know what happened before, because as usual, cameras, they don't really catch what caused these incidents. I mean, it could have been random, like she just randomly walked up to them and started talking shit. But maybe something happened beforehand, but we don't know. Now to my opinion on this. I guess everyone wants my opinion. I like how they handled it. I like how the Africans handled it. They spoke back, trying to be logical, blah, blah, blah. They didn't try to, like the black girl didn't get up, get in her face and shit. Cause a lot of American, see, this is right here the difference between American and African blacks. African blacks know how to think about tomorrow a little better. American blacks, many of us, we don't give a shit. A lot of American black girls, they see this, they're like, I would have stood up and punched her in her face. I would have fucked that bitch up. Then you would have got your ass beat by everybody on that bus. You see what I mean? They know how to think. See, this is one difference between Africans and African Americans. I gotta admit, Africans know how to think a little more than we do. They know how to think about tomorrow. They understand consequences a little better than we do. Because way too many African Americans are just wild. You say or do something wrong, they're ready to fight, shoot, or stab. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about, especially the women. Like, I can't even tell you how many girls in the club last night was trying to bother Lisa because she's wearing her booty shorts. She was twerking and everything. She's blonde, so she grabs a lot of attention. And like, black girl just walked by and bumped her. It was the same shit in New York City. It was the same exact shit. And I know it ain't just me, because when they bump into her, I look at Lisa, she looks at me, and we're both like, all right, bitches trying to start shit. But she's smarter than that, so we continue dancing, pretend like nothing happened. You know what I mean? But that's just me giving a difference between black and Russian people. Between black Americans and black Africans. Now, there's something else I want to mention about this. I know this kind of has nothing to do with this clip, but I was talking about it with some people a few days ago, even on the internet, how a lot of Russians see America as kind of like a black country. Not like a fully black country, but a country in which blacks have equal power as the whites because of the president. It's so bad that when you see a black person in Russia, you call them African American. They really see America as being kind of like a black country. They see blacks as having way more power in America than we actually do. Which is funny, but it ain't true. They see us as having a lot of power in that country, you know what I mean? So, just wanted to throw that in there, because that's very strange. They don't have a clue how wrong they are. But still, a lot of them feel that way. And have I been through anything like this in Russia? With a woman? An old lady once told me to go back to Africa. I remember that. She was asking for money on the metro, and she came up to me with her sign and shit, and I was like this. And like in Russia, she just goes, "You can go back to Africa if you're not going to give money. Back to Africa." And I was like, "But I've never been to Africa." "Go back to Africa." I'm like, "Oh, okay, that sounds fair." But she, she was very old. Oh, and I've been cursed out by many old people. Like this woman wasn't really old, but I always get cursed out by old people. It's not just me, it's everybody actually. Because the old people in Russia are just very anal. The old women, they just like to yell at every fucking body. You know, I told you guys that unlike black women, black women start off from adults and they're very strong as adults and they usually get weaker as they get older. With Russian women, it's the complete opposite. When they're adults, they're generally weak, thin and timid and stuff like that, but as they get older, they get really, really strong. Well, those babushkas, those grandmothers are very strong and they have fucking attitude problems, for real. They have humongous attitude problems. And they love to yell and curse at anybody. You could be Russian, you could be black, you could be Chinese. They are just angry about something. Because 9 out of 10 times I've been yelled at by somebody in Russia, it was a babushka that I've never seen before. And she just found whatever reason she could do to yell at me or yell at the girl I'm with. Somebody's getting yelled at when there's a babushka involved, I remember this one time I was in Rostov-na-Don where I had the dog. The dog was taking a shit in the grass. And I'm standing there with a plastic bag in my hand, which is a clear sign that indicates I'm going to pick the shit up, literally. Soon as the first piece of shit drops on the floor, this lady going off, "What the fuck are you doing there? Your dog shit, what's that?" And she's out the window, nothing else to do. "What the fuck are you doing? Your dog shit. She's just wilding out, and I'm just letting the dog shit, and I'm like, "Okay, spokojся, calm down, like spokojся, yes, spokojся, oh, bоже moj." She's just going off. Then I pick it up, put it in the trash, and she's still going off. Still going off about the shit I just picked up. And I'm just like, oh my God. What was another time I was yelled at by a babushka? I got yelled at for not giving money, yelled at for cleaning shit. And what was the most recent one? It was before I came here, I got yelled at by an old lady. What the fuck I get yelled at for? I don't remember. But I get yelled at a lot. It's usually about old women. Now, as for the men, I don't think I was ever, I was called a fag by a guy before because we bumped into each other and he goes, "Pida." And Pida is like short for pidarats, which is faggot. So we have faggot, they have pidarats, we have fag, they have pida. But I thought he said Peter. So I bumped into the dude who's like, "Peter." And I was like, "Who the fuck is Peter?" I didn't know at first, but then I found out he called me a faggot. When I see him, it's on. But anyway, old Russian men? Oh my God. I know I told you guys a story in Tula with the old Russian man who started crying to me. It was my first day in Tula. This old Russian man, drunk, walks up to me, starts crying to me about how when he was younger, he went to Vietnam. No, it wasn't Vietnam. Where the fuck was he? He was sent somewhere to fight. I forgot where, some Asian country. He was like, in Russian, it was terrible, and just crying to me. And I'm like, "Sir, this is my first day here. This ain't the best look for Tula right now." He just kept going. He just kept fucking going, crying, and my manager standing there like this. I'm like, "Nigga, this is why I don't take the bus, From now on, when I go on tour, I'm not taking buses. If you can't afford a taxi, from now on, nigga, don't call me. I added that to my rider. No public transportation for Philko. Taxis only. You understand? Because I'm tired of random crazy-ass Russian shit. Craziest people on the bus. I want nothing to do with it. And that's basically it, people. And that's for the Africans watching this. I don't know how often this happens to us, or you guys, whatever, or us as black people in general, but handle it like they did. Talk back. Don't try to get violent. It's not going to help anything. It's not going to help anything, because any little violent thing black people do in Russia is going to be exploded as like the biggest news. Like I remember these African kids, like what was this, 4 months ago, who stole wine or something. It was all over the fucking news. They stole like 2 bottles of wine. It was all over the news. All over the news. 2 weeks later, 2 Africans get shot by skinheads in the center of St. Petersburg. No news. You see what I mean? So being violent isn't always a smart answer, because in the end you're going to lose, depending on where you are. Now if this was America, that girl could have slapped the shit out that bitch and everyone would have applauded. That's what I love about my country. You ain't going to beat me there. You're not going to. And there's a lot of those people there, but Russians don't generally act like this. I don't want you guys to think this is common. I'm sure there's a lot of Russian people on that bus who thought that bitch was a bitch too and wanted her to shut the fuck up. You understand? They wanted her to. But I'm telling you, a lot of Russians don't. They just have a real bad vision on Africa, like a real bad view of Africa, man. They just see it as like a jungle. The people from there are wild. Even though they may not like you, in the long run, they won't disrespect you just because you're African. They'll just like probably won't look at you or just walk past or something like that. They don't act like this generally. This is very rare. I don't want black people to think, or Africans to think when you come here, they're going to treat you like this. Now, me being American, I don't get away with much, but I do get away with a little bit because I'm American, and usually when people want to yell at me, they want to make it politics or some shit, which I don't give a fuck about. Like, oh, you're sanctions. I don't give a shit. And it's funny because I have a lot of friends who take what, like a lot of Russian people, they take politics, they include politics with shit that has nothing to do with it. Because I got approached, not really approached, I don't want to say pressed. I guess I've been hollered at over a video I made about Pussy Riot, right? And Pussy Riot is a band, whatever. I didn't speak anything political. I gave my 3 opinions about them. It had nothing to do with politics. I said that one chick is beautiful. I said they're known to be crazy, and and their style of music, their style of doing things like shock and awe. They always want to shock you, surprise you, and do things that you would never expect, which is all true. But because I called that lady beautiful, a lot of Russian people took it personally and thought I was trying to attack Russia by saying she's beautiful because they don't like her. A lot of people are like, oh, you're probably just saying that for political reasons. Even my managers in one city was like, they're like, we don't understand why you're trying to make us look bad by saying she looks good. I'm like, what the fuck, nigga? She's sexy. I don't give a fuck what she's doing. She could be a murderer. She could be insane. She could be holding a piece of shit in her hand. If the bitch is sexy, she's sexy. I don't give a fuck about politics. I think she's sexy. She was voted one of the most beautiful women in America. I think it's 2012. She's voted one of the most beautiful women to American men in 2012. And I agreed with it. When I first saw her, I was like, oh my God. It has nothing to do with politics. A lot of Russians want to include politics and shit. It has nothing to do with fucking politics. I want to bang the chick out. That has nothing to do with politics. You know what I mean? So that kind of shocked me. And there was something else too with the whole politics thing that they would ask me about. And shit. The World War II thing always kind of gets to me. I don't get it anymore, but when I first came to Russia in 2012, even 14-year-olds were asking me about why do Americans celebrate World War II and all that stuff. That was another one. But there was something else too. I just can't remember. But basically, when you're black, they just want to get on you because you're black. When they find out you're American, usually it switches to politics. And it's like, why do you... Someone asked me, why do you Americans come here? I'm like, are you serious? I'll never forget that. That was in a bar. He's like, why do you Americans come here? I'm like, I think he means black people, but like I told you before, a lot of Russians see black as like America, you know what I mean? So I'm guessing he meant black people, but he said it wrong. He goes, why do you Americans come here? I'm like, are you serious? Why do Americans come here to Russia? Are you serious? Do you know what it's like when I get my visa to go to Russia? When I walk into, this is what it's like when I walk into the visa building. Hello. I'm here to get a visa. Visa. I'm here to get a visa to go to Russia. You want to go to Russia? Yes. No questions. Give money. There's the money. Wait 2 weeks. A week later, here's your visa. I'm gone. What does that tell you? If it's that easy to get a visa, what does that mean? Americans aren't going to Russia. But I'm pretty sure he meant black people because for some reason, like I told you, a lot of Russians see Americans as at least half black country or something like that. So when they see blacks, they like to assume America sometimes. Or maybe when a black person isn't too dark skinned, they want to assume America or something like that. And that's basically it, people. Just got to ramble a little bit about Russians and crazy shit. And that's basically it. This is my last full day in Cyprus. Tomorrow I'll be flying to Serbia, and from there we will decide where we are going. We're not sure yet. She wants someone special, crazy face. She wants to go to Hungary, Budapest, so she can use her Schengen European visa to raise her odds of coming to America with me one day, which is funny because I don't see me going back to America anytime soon, but we'll see what happens.
You said I have to do it.
Yeah, if you ever do want to come with me to... Bitch! Don't be fucking throwing shit at me in the middle of the video. If you ever do want to come with me, you should do it. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. And that's it, niggas. But it's funny, I think, last note, I don't know why I'm so talkative today, but I think when I go back to America, I'm not going back to New York. I'm not going back to New York. I'm going to go to a state that has...
I can't just love Europe. I want to go in Europe.
So let's go to Europe then. What the fuck happened
So,
to...
the business Europe. What's the problem?
Alright, we could go anytime then. Why do we have to go now? You want to live in Europe?
I'm not able to live in Europe.
Yes, you are.
So how?
You could join universities and stuff like that. There's many ways. Oh, I'm sorry. University, I can't do that. But anyway, later people. We'll argue in another video.